I played Traptrix for 8 hours and here is what I learned. As usual, everything will be labeled in the timestamps. Pause if you need to, but let's move on. Here is version 4 of my deck. The first change I made was removing the 2 Lord of Heavenly Prisons since it wasn't really worth it. In my initial build, I skipped Called-By and Crossouts, but then I started losing to Max C, so I added them back. If you open Crossout, it can help protect against evenly matched. I see many decks do not have Duster anymore, but it's up to your preference. It got really annoying when other people activated their trap cards, so I added 2 red reboots. As for our extra deck, we have a rank 4 toolbox of Dweller, Exoton, and Redoer. If you need a closer to end the game, we have the Utopia double combo. The Springins let us get a 4 material Zeus. So now let's see what this deck can do. This is such a bad opener, but it's fine since we will just win anyways. I pass my turn and in the end phase, they send Stove and Keldo to the grave, they get to summon Lady and then set Welcome Labrynth. In their main phase, they attempt to activate Welcome but it gets negated by Ash. Stove then sends Maxi and itself to set Big Welcome, and they just move to battle. Trap decks have a really hard time OTKing. Set another card and then pass. We finally get to play. I drew Mantis and normal summon it. Chainlink 1 Mantis, Chainlink 2 Big Welcome, and again we negate it with Ash. Mantis adds Vesiculo to my hand and I set Holutia. I link into Sarah. Vesiculo then sends Holutia to the grave to special summon itself. Chainlink 1 Sarah, Chainlink 2 Holutia, targeting Mantis, but then they use Keldo to shuffle Mantis away. Sarah sets Gravedigger Trap Hole. I activate Garden, which will protect our monsters from battle destruction once per turn, and I set the red reboot. They activate Imperm targeting Vesiculo, that does nothing but activate their Lady. Lady gets to set Welcome, but this also triggers my Sarah, which then special summons Mermelio, which then pops their Welcome. I refuse to let them resolve even one of them. They move to battle and do some damage, but Sarah is able to take it. They just set 1 and pass. We drew Floodgate Trap Hole, but we don't need it. I overlay into Utopia Double. I use its effect to add double or nothing to my hand and then overlay into Utopia. We are still missing 1000 damage, so I use Garden to banish Sarah, to special summon Mermelio, and then try to pop their trap. For the 4th time, we negate their Welcome Trap, and this time with Red Reboot. Now we just finish them with Battle. We open with a decent hand, normal Mantis, and then they chain Havnis, and I follow with Max C. They missed their mills, we drew a Dead Prosperity, and Mantis adds Arachnocampa to my hand. Link into Sarah, summon 2 Exceeds, and since they revealed Havnis, we just overlay into Abyss Dweller, and the game is already over. Toggle on to Abyss Dweller in the draw phase. For whatever reason, they decided they don't want to play in main 1, so they move directly into main 2, doing nothing. In my draw, I use Abyss Dweller again, normal Mermelio, and then they just leave. That was pretty easy. This time, we are going second against Tearlament. They normal Merly and mill Sheeran, link 1 Sheeran, and I chain Max C. It actually resolves for once. They fuse into Kitkalos, I drew Ash, and it negates Kitkalos. And then they just set 2. I drew the second and last Ash in my deck, just like I planned. Normal Mermelio, negate it with Celiac, sending Kitkalos to the grave. Kitkalos tries to mill, but I Ash it again. I link into Sarah, special Arachnocampa to trigger Sarah, and then set Holutia. Activate Holutia by sending Nightmare to the grave, which then triggers Sarah's other effect. They summon Kelbeck, bouncing back my Holutia. Special Mermelio popping Meta Noise, and it shuffles back Kit to the extra. Overlay into Pingu, use its effect to add another Arachnocampa that I can use next turn, move into battle and hit over Kelbeck. I set 2 and pass. They drew nothing and they just leave. We are going first against Runick Stun. This was with version 2 of the deck, when I still had Lord of Prisons. All it did was attack once, so I thought I'd include it in the video. I was able to set up a decent board, but it doesn't really do much against Floodgates. In draw, they flip Tikaboo, and then I just summon Prisons. Move to battle, but they prevent my XZs from attacking since they didn't want me to summon Zeus. On draw, they summon Gary and try to pop my trap, but Arachnocampa protects each trap once per turn. They actually just tributed my whole board with the raw ball. I banished the ball and then they chain Maxi and I negated with Ash. Special Mantis, normal summon Vesiculo, move to battle. Then I just overlay into Redoer, set 1 and pass. Redoer steals their card of demise. They just set 2 and pass. In the end phase, I detach the spell to draw 1 card. Redoer steals Metaverse. I try to detach it, and then they leave. We are going first versus Numeron. I don't know what they were on, so I just summoned Dweller just in case. They just tribute my Rafflesia with a Kaiju. Numeron wall effect to activate Network. Network summons the 4 gates and then they move to battle. I use Holutia to summon Myrmelio, which then pops Network. Sarah sets Time Space. They attack over Sarah. Main 2, they use Duster and then link into Infinitrack. Set 1 and pass. Normal Myrmelio adding Floodgate. Link into Sarah. Activate Holutia, sending Floodgate to the grave, and then I just overlay with a trap card into Redoer. Detach everything to spin back Infinitrack. Activate Conquistador, blocking my attack. Main 2 banish Vesiculo to set Floodgate Trapple. Sarah sets Gravediggers, and then Redoer summons itself. I use Dweller again for fun, Redoer steals Upstart, and they leave. In general, this deck is pretty good, especially if you are able to get set up on the first turn. We are going second and we hope to break boards with cards like Evenly, Exciton, and Zeus. Another thing that we can try going second is to just win with Utopia Double. If you are using cards that I do not have, feel free to share in the comment section below. I still have some bonus replays that you can check out if you are interested. My next video will be on Labrynth. Until next time,